First of all, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. I was just saying I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to enter the meeting through my laptop, and it says the host has another meeting in progress. So it's confusing. It's not communicating.
Yeah, I don't know. So usually
that's weird.
I'll
all right, I'll try to send the invite directly from here, see if that makes a difference. Invite, and which email is it, Leslie, again? I know you told me 100 times, but is it like
it's
Leslie 4?
It's Lesli, Lesli,
Okay,
dot
I got it.
Fernandez4@gmail.
Okay, so I'll just put new on it, no problem. So I'm sending
Vario,
by email.
are you happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you happy?
You look beautiful.
My hair's done. I love it.
Did he give you a hard time last time or what?
You don't even want to know.
Yeah, he did. He's like, Leslie, let me tell you, Leslie, you need to be in video, okay? But it was fun. It was all fun.
Yeah, I didn't know how to take it to Russ, so I was like,
That's awesome.
I love it.
We already had everybody sign sexual harassment waivers before we started this, so. So you give consent, right? Everybody gives consent?
It's fun and games.
I always get it from you, Brandon, so I gotta dish it out. You know?
Yes.
Well, I'm not harassing you sexually though, bro. We're good.
So.
All right. Well, that's.
Neither have I.
Let's get rolling, man. My COVID-19's kicking in now. Allergies about to kick. Yeah.
Sounds
Were you
good.
gonna say something, Leslie? Did I scare everybody yet? Okay.
No, I think I just got the invitation. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm coming. I'm joining in.
Okay.
Okay, this will be better, actually.
All right. You ready, Russ?
Perfect. And then let me get
I'm ready.
here.
But
Okay.
the connection is not very good for sure. And I don't know if it's my end or yours or what.
I'm seeing it too.
It's all of them. My connection is kind of slow too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get rolling because I know Russ, you got to be out again in a little bit, or.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's get the show on the road. So the only other thing I was thinking of that just kind of came to mind is the personality styles, Russ. I don't know if we want to touch on that or not, but we haven't done any training on that. And that's always good information and good review, just to make sure we're all on the same page with the different personality styles. I guess before getting going though, so over Leslie, anything in particular over the last week? I know we kind of took the week off, but anything just recently that would be helpful that you think from this session while we got Russ on the phone? We lost your audio, Leslie. Yeah.
She's just muted, looks like.
Yeah. You there, Leslie? Yeah, we can't hear you. Still can't hear
Can
you.
you hear me better?
Now we can. Yep.
There we go.
All right.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't think of anything right now, but as the meeting goes on, I can let you know.
Cool. Silver, anything in particular?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. Anything with scheduling, just making the calls during the week, follow up, setting appointments, any part of that process, objection handling, that would be helpful.
Yeah, or what's working, what's not working, where do you feel like you're needing some help or anything?
You know, what I'm having trouble with is scheduling my time. I'm having trouble with that.
Okay.
Because like today, for example, I have nothing written down what's going to happen, but I know I just got to do something. You know what I mean? No, seriously. Like I just go one by one, whatever comes to mind. Like, all right, after these, we're gonna do prospect. We're gonna make some phone calls.
Right.
After that, I'm gonna do more follow up with past clients or something to connect with people and stuff. And and then I gotta do a couple of things on my own over here at the house. But I gotta write everything down, and I gotta block my time. That's what I need to do.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, cool. Anything though on the calls that I mean, how are they going?
The calls are working for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of responses are you getting?
Usually what they're saying is, oh, we're looking to buy, but not right now. We're gonna wait until this, COVID-19 thing, goes away, or at least it gets better. And basically what they say is that they're afraid of not having a job, and they don't want to commit to a mortgage payment right now if they don't have a job.
Right. Makes sense.
And so what I've been doing is like, all right, we'll say, okay, we can just keep in touch. I'll send you emails, just stay in touch, and whenever you're ready, we can do something. They're like, yeah, that works.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I guess just the one thing I was telling Brandon earlier, which falls in line to what you're saying there, Silver, is just keep in mind that the secret to getting appointments with people is using the phrase of I work with my clients at their pace. And part of why this is hot on my mind right now is I was up making some calls, or listening to agents make some calls just a few minutes ago. And an agent got on the phone with a lady, and let me kind of actually just run you through the phone call. I wish I would have recorded it to let you listen, but here's what happened is he called. He said, hey, just wanted to get an idea what you're looking for in a home. And she said, yeah, we were just kind of looking. And so then he said, okay, so you're just looking. That's awesome. The reason I ask is I come across some really good deals, short sales, stuff like that, and just wanted to get an idea what you're looking for. And then she said, yeah, that's okay. We're just kind of, just seeing what's out there. And so then he said, which again, make sure you're doing this. He said, well, all right, well, let me just ask you. I mean, if I came across a good deal, would you want to know about it though? And she said, yeah, I would want to know. And he said, great, give me an idea what you're looking for. So now remember, that's the needs and wants. We got to get those first. So she starts to tell him the needs and wants. And then he says, okay, well, great. Now that we've got needs and wants, the next step is I'm going to try to set an appointment. So he says, okay, well, that's perfect. Yeah, let me, start looking around, see what I can come up with. And she says, yeah, I mean, I have a house that I would need to sell, but this is my first time doing this. And so I don't even really know what the process needs to look like or anything like that. And he goes, all right, well, let me just research and I'll give you a call back. And she's like, okay, and hung up. And I was like, no, like that's where, to me, that's where the perfect time, the perfect scenario of that, when they're saying something like that, is to say, hey, well, that's perfect. I work with my clients at their pace. And so what we ought to do is get together. Let's talk about what it is you want to accomplish, how you want to get there, and let's put together a plan and see where we go. So what works better, afternoons or evenings? Now, here's the key with that though, is you got to remember when you're doing this, you are giving a performance. So just kind of think of it that way, as every single phone call for you, yes, you have said it 10, 15 times for the day and hundreds of times, but you want to keep in mind that as we do this, this is probably the first time they're hearing it. And so we want to keep in mind, even though it's like, okay, I'm saying the same thing over and over again, that it's like, this is the first time they're hearing it. And so give the performance like it's the first time you've ever given it. And so for me, like what I told him is, here's the best thing that if I were doing it. So she said to me, yeah, we're kind of new to this. We don't really know what's going on. I'm going to say, oh, well, hey, that's perfect. I work with my clients at their pace. And so the good news is, like, I'm not going to try to get you to do something you don't want to do. In fact, you know what we ought to do? See, like, I will do it almost like I just thought of this. Like, you know what we ought to do is we ought to get together so that I can help you through the process to understand what that looks like and what works best for you, afternoons or evenings. Now, very likely she would have said, well, like I said, we're not really quite sure. And then I would say again, like, remember, you almost can't say it enough. I work with my clients at their pace. So I would have said, remember, I work with my clients at their pace. So I'm not going to try to get you to do something. I just want to give you the information so that when you are ready at some point down the road, you'll be prepared. And I'm telling you that process of just, I work with my clients at their pace, no worries. You know what we ought to do? And that's how you've got to do it is I work with my clients at their pace. You know what? And it's got to come across as like, you just barely thought of it. It just popped into your head, even though in actuality, you should be saying it, 10, 15 times a day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Russ, in that case, when she mentioned, well, I have a house that I have to sell in order to buy the solid property that I'm looking to buy, wouldn't you go and dig deeper into that? Let's say, okay, oh great, you have a house. Where is your house located? How much you think your house is worth? And start talking about her house so she can give you more information about that. How many bedrooms do you have? 3 + 2, okay. And you're looking to buy something. Are you going? You need something larger than what you're living in right now. What's the square footage? Blah blah blah. What do you think?
Yeah, good question. So I think, this is the hard part of this is that there are times when, yes, I would do that. Absolutely. And here's the difference. So for me in that phone call, I would not have done that. All I would have said was, you know what, let's just get together so that we can talk about what you want to accomplish. And then I can walk you through what the process looks like. And the reason was because she had already told me no a couple times. So if when he got on the phone, she had said, yeah, we're thinking about doing it, but we don't know what we're doing, then yes, I probably would have said, okay, right then, yeah, let's get into it. Well, let's talk about, how many beds, how many baths, blah, blah, blah. So there are times, yes, but I would say again, if they're giving you kind of the, whoa, back off, then I'm going to also take the approach of, hey, guess what? Like I work with my clients there. So I'm not going to try to get that information right then. I just want to get an appointment to get in front of them.
Makes sense.
So yeah, that's how I would say I want to approach it.
Yeah, because you don't want to extend the conversation with her because she's already saying no. And but if she told you some piece of information already, then what you're shooting for is the appointment. The next one is the appointment.
Yeah. So in fact, let me give you another idea on that, because another call that one of the agents got this morning was a guy that he called and said, hey, I just was calling to get an idea what you're looking for. Oh yeah, here's what we're looking for. And he just started telling him. And as he was telling him everything he was looking for, then he goes, hey, but you know what? Can you call me back later tonight? Because I've got to get back to work here. But I want to talk to you more about this. Now, in that scenario, like a lot of times I would tell you guys, if they say I'm at work, to say, oh, hey, no worries. Let me just ask you a quick question to try to get needs and wants. But again, this is where kind of you have to follow a little bit of like what's happening in the process, because he had a call right before that where the lady said, I got to get back to work. And he just said, okay, bye. And I said, on that one for sure, do the, hey, let me ask you a quick question. But with that guy where he was open and willing and was like, yeah, let's talk more about it. And he says, call me back. Like I guess what I'd say is pay attention to when they're really just trying to get you off the phone versus, no, I'm happy to talk to you, but I've got this going on.
Right.
And hopefully that makes sense. But to some extent, you got to kind of be able to read through this is an excuse to get me off the phone, in which case I'm going to push a little bit, versus no, I want to talk to you, but I am just walking into a meeting or whatever. But also just keep in mind, a lot of times that's not true. That otherwise they wouldn't answer the phone.
Correct. Yeah, not true. That makes sense.
So I don't know. Any thoughts to that, Leslie or Brandon? Questions?
I was gonna say, just let's role play it. You know what I mean? Just keep practicing it if that works with you. But it's up to you. How much time do you have right now?
Yeah, about 15 minutes, so we're good.
Okay. Who wants to role play? I don't mind doing it. If you want to just do it, let's go.
Okay. So you're being the client or the agent?
I'll be the agent trying to implement what you just said right now.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do her scenario with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Madonna?
Yeah, this is Madonna.
Hey Madonna, this is Brandon. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good, good. Hey, I see you just registered on our real estate website and just wanted to call and get an idea what you're looking for.
Oh yeah, we were just kind of seeing what's out there. We're not really looking.
Okay, that's great. So you just starting early in the process here, just kind of seeing what's online?
Yep, yeah, that's what it is.
Well, that's great. You know, we work with our clients at their pace. Let me ask you real quick, what is it that you're looking for?
Well, like I said, we're just kind of seeing what's out there. We're probably not gonna do anything. We're just kind of browsing.
Right. So again, just starting early in the process. I come across some really good deals, and I was just curious if I come across something, would you be open to checking that out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, great. Well, just share with me what it is you're looking for, so when I come across that great deal, I can
Yeah,
get
so we'd
contact you.
want
Go
3
ahead.
or 4 bedrooms, and we'd want to be in this other city over here, and a couple baths, stuff like that.
Great. So 3 or 4 bedrooms. Which cities are you looking at?
Just the ones neighboring here, you
Oh,
know.
so just
Just
around
yeah,
Camarillo.
Oxnard, Camarillo, yeah. Yep.
Great. Awesome. And any other things you hope to find in that next home?
No, like I said, we own a home, but we would need to sell it, and we're kind of new to the process and don't really know what that looks like or anything.
Okay, great. So how long have you owned your home?
4 years.
4 years. Great. So about 4 years ago, that was a good time to buy. So you probably got some pretty good equity in that property. And you said that you're not really sure what the next step is. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're just kind of checking it out, kind of feeling that out.
Okay. Well, it's, I help many people who are looking to sell for the first time and buy another property. Would you be interested in setting up a time to discuss what that looks like and your possible options right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to talk to my wife.
Okay. So, Madonna, you have a wife.
Yeah, hello, it's Madonna.
Right.
She
Yeah,
has both.
right. No, it's so honestly, just with where I've gone so far with it, would you be listening still? Would you be pushing back? Where
So
would you?
here's what I would say is you actually did a good job, but here's the biggest thing I would say is make sure you throw in that, what we ought to do
Okay.
is because, and I don't know what
Get
it is
excited
about it,
about it,
but
right? Try to almost like a pattern interruption. So we're talking normal, then you know what we ought to do, Russ, or you know what we ought to do, Madonna, something like that.
yeah, just kind of, and like I say, you got to kind of do it, like even do the facial of, you know what, especially over the phone where they can't see you, do the, you know what, because then it doesn't feel like the reason behind that is you don't want it to feel like you're
Scripted.
yeah, and so it kind of more of that, what we ought to do, we ought to just get together and just, I can walk you through what the process would look like, show you what you need to do to your home, kind of get you all educated on that. Now more than likely they're going to go, no, that's okay. Like I said, we're just trying to figure it out. And I mean, we probably won't do anything anyway. And then that's when I go, you know what, I work with my clients at their pace, like I said. And so you don't have to worry that I'm going to try to push you to do something you don't want to do. I just really enjoy educating people and just kind of get the emotion kind of behind that and use the facial expressions and things, even though you're on the phone. I just really enjoy actually helping people through the process and to understand it so that when you are ready, you'll be the most educated person out there. How does that sound?
Cool.
You're like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Okay, great. Well, what works better, afternoon or evening then?
Yeah, that sounds
Because
good.
here's the thing that you got to just remember is if you understand, in fact, okay, let me do a share screen again here on a whiteboard real quick to show you one other thing. So I'm going to try to write with my right hand, and I'm left-handed here, but so just keep in mind this process of the buyer and seller cycle, which I'm really not going to be able to write very well on this. Not that I do anyway, but the percolation.
Right.
Oops, that's a horrible R. Percolation, that first phase that they go through is the percolation phase. In the percolation phase, they're just thinking about it. And so here's what I know for sure. That phone call and that role play we just did is me being in the percolation phase. That is me. So let me get rid of some of this here. Maybe I'll try typing it instead. Yeah, so percolation is here. And then the next phase is information gathering. And then the last phase, oops. This last one that would be right here where my mouse is the active. And keep in mind that most of the people that we end up talking to are typically going to be in that percolation phase of things taking place. And so because of that they're in this percolation, they're just thinking about it. And any type of pressure that they feel, they're going to withdraw and run away. But as long as what you do is keep telling them over and over again, I work with my clients at their pace. I work with my clients at their pace. Hey, no worries. I totally get where you're at. And I just want to help you understand a little better what's going on with the market, blah, 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 blah. As you do that, then what is going to happen is they will end up being grateful for what you're doing and willing to let you go meet with them. Now, so here's the point, because sometimes people will think, well, yeah, but I don't want to go meet with somebody if they're in the percolation phase clear back here. But here's what I'll tell you. If they will set an appointment with you for you to go meet with them, what's going to happen once you get in and you meet with them is very quickly they're going to move over to this information gathering section. And once they're in information gathering, then they're going to start really asking a ton of questions. You'll help, essentially think of it as your job is to help them progress through this. And most of these people that you're going to be talking to on the phone are going to be in the percolation phase. And so that's why it's so crucial to be saying, I work with my clients at their pace. I work with my clients at their pace. No worries. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm just here to help you. I'm not going to push you. All of those kinds of things. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's kind of the biggest thing is just keep in mind, we're dealing with most of the people here or early in the phase here. And the secret to getting the appointment is I work with my clients at their pace and I'm not going to push you to do something you don't want to do.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, I would keep role playing, and I kind of want to, but I also want to give Leslie and Silver a shot. Leslie, do you want to do a quick one with Russ?
Sure.
Cool. All right. So Leslie, if you can be the agent doing a call, right? You're doing a pro agent call, and then Russ is going to be the buyer, similar type buyer, Russ, in the early stage.
Yeah, and the idea, like I say, do that kind of like you just thought.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. I'm ready when you are, Silver.
Okay. Hello.
Oh, it's with
doing
Russ.
with Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing it with you. Okay. Hi, is this Russ?
Yeah, this is Russ.
Hi, Russ. My name's Lesli with Veteran Home Services, and I was calling sorry, hold on.
Sorry.
No.
I'm not in the mindset. Hold on. Oh, I'm calling because I realized you went onto my website and you looked at a couple homes. So, Russ, tell me a little bit about what you're looking for.
Yeah, we were just kind of out browsing. We aren't really looking to do anything. We were just kind of playing around on the weekends, seeing what's out there.
Okay, you were just looking.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, when you are ready to start looking, what are you looking for?
We're not sure. That's kind of why we're just playing around, see what's out there. So, but hey, thanks for calling.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. And Russ, what we should do is what I'd like to.
So okay, let me stop you. Here's the thing.
No, I love it. I love it.
When they're not telling you. So when you said, "Hey, give me an idea what you're looking for," and they say, "We're just browsing. We're not looking. We're just messing around this weekend."
Right.
You got to create some type of value, because without the value,
Absolutely.
they want to get off the phone, which is what I did. So that's where
right.
just saying, "Hey, you know what? I come across some really good deals, and sometimes before they even hit the market." So I just was calling to get an idea of what you're looking for. That's when they're now going to start to share with you what they're looking for.
Perfect. So can we get back?
So yeah, back up. So back up to, I just said, hey, we're just messing around on the weekend, seeing what's out there.
Perfect. Russell, you're just looking?
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I come across some really good deals. Would you be interested if if I found these deals and told you about them?
Okay, you got to tell me a little bit more than because at that point, they don't believe you. If you just say, I come across good deals, they don't believe you.
Yeah.
So that's where you got to say it like you really believe it. Like,
Okay.
hey, I come across some really good deals, and sometimes before they hit the market. Now, I don't know if you were on the call when I shared this last week, but a week ago Friday, I came across a deal that was a really good deal that hadn't hit the market. And so you got to believe that you really are going to be able to do that for them, and you got to say it that way, because otherwise, the way you said it, I'm like, yeah, no, that's okay. I don't care. There wasn't enough value.
Leslie, think of the deal you just opened escrow on, Christie's listing, right? Get excited about that. Share that story really quick, okay?
Okay.
So try it again.
So, okay, so pick it up again. Hey, no, we're just messing around looking on the weekend.
Oh, that's great. You're just looking, Russ?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, I come across some really good deals. Would you be interested in knowing more about them?
You just said the same thing you did last
I did. I know. It's like acting. We're in acting class.
That's right. It is. It's acting class.
You know what it is? I need to make a list before I make these phone calls and get into that mindset of just, this is reality. This isn't just.
So let's turn it around. That's right. Let's turn it around. You're the person. So you just say to me, we're just messing around looking on the weekend.
Right. Russ, we're just looking. Yeah.
Oh, you're just looking? Oh, perfect. Hey, that's a great place to start. Well, the reason I ask is because I come across some really good deals, short sales, foreclosures, HUD homes, stuff like that. And I just wanted to get an idea of what you're looking for so I can keep an eye out for you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sure.
See, does that make sense? That's if all you say is, well, I come across some really good deals, they're like, okay, but by saying, short sales, HUD homes, foreclosures, just, hey, give me an idea of what you're looking for. Now, and part of that is you got to remember that's part of what attracted them to the site to begin with.
Right.
And so that's why when we throw that in, that's why it's going to bring the value to have them now say, oh, well, yeah, so here's what I'm looking for in the home then.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah, you have to give them examples or else they're not going to really.
Yeah, and that's just it. If you've got one that you had recently that you can do that with, that you can go, that you could say, hey, I come across some really good deals. In fact, I just had one the other day that So give me an idea what you're looking for so I can find you one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, let me tell you.
Leslie, do you think your buyer got a good deal recently?
They did. They did.
Right. But do you see how convinced you are right now, just the way you said they did?
Of course.
That's how you have to.
I'm in that mindset.
But that's the confidence right there. Okay. So now tell us about why you think they got a good deal. Don't worry about the script. Tell us why you think your clients got a good deal.
So my client actually had an opportunity to put an offer on a home that was into a multiple offer scenario. And in this situation, I was able to negotiate the best price for them at this point. And they're super happy to open escrow, to have opened escrow. See, these things are what I have to write down. I have to write these down and kind of.
But we want you to think about it on the spot. You got to believe it. Whatever you're selling, you have to believe, right? You did a good job representing them. You know that they got a great opportunity. Why is it a great opportunity? I can tell you real quick. It's under $600,000 for a detached home in Camarillo in a great neighborhood, great location, right? So they're moving into an awesome location at a great price in a multiple offer situation, and you represented them and helped them get that offer accepted. Now tell me, Leslie, what is it that you're looking for? Do you see what I'm saying? So you make a statement, a strong statement that you're selling that you believe in, and then you flip it. It's a tie-down question. Now tell me, what is it that you're looking for? So you can brag or you can boast or however you want to say it, but you speak with confidence of sharing the situation, and then you tie it down into a question. You don't need to think about it. You have to believe it, know it, share it, and then ask the question.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So try it real quick. Okay, do it again. You got to practice it till it becomes second nature.
Definitely. So, hey, Russ, I recently represented my buyers that just purchased a home in Camarillo, and they got a really good deal. In fact, it was a multiple offer scenario, and I was able to get them in and negotiate the best price for them. So, Russ, tell me, what are you looking for?
So you were able to get a multiple offer and it was still a good deal and you got it accepted?
Absolutely. And I
Wow.
would be happy to tell you how the scenario worked out. But again, I'd have to know what you're looking for to be able to help you.
So instead of saying I can tell you how, I would just say, yeah, I could do the same thing for you. Give me an idea what you're looking for.
There you go.
That's a great statement. Thank you. It's much smoother. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't necessarily, at that point, I don't know that I would care how you did it. I'm more like, even in a multiple offer scenario, you ended up getting them a good deal. Like, wow. Now, if I said how, then tell how. But if I just say, wow, yeah, that's something that I do for my clients, and I'd be happy to do it for you. So give me an idea what you're looking for.
Perfect. Those are the statements. Those are the statements that are worth practicing, you know, because sometimes they don't come to mind, but they're very important. They're that transition statement, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then just kind of keep in mind too, the other thing. So I've got my son sitting here and he actually just reminded me one other thing too, of just like when you are saying the HUD homes, the short sales, the foreclosures, like slow it down so that you're saying it, you know, things like HUD homes, like again, so that it doesn't sound like it's a scripted thing. It's more like you're thinking about it. I come across some HUD homes, short sales, foreclosures, and then you can ask, you know, do you know what those are? Do you know what a HUD home or a short sale is? And they may or may not say yes or no. But if they say, well, I mean, I think I know what it is. Oh, okay. Well, let me explain to you. Now you got them. As soon as they start asking you other questions, now you've built the rapport, which remember, we got to connect, we got to create value and close. Now you've hit that connection piece and probably created the value as well. So.
Okay. Cause then you're the expert at that point.
Yep. That's right. Yep. Cool.
Okay.
All right. I got to jump off.
All right. We'll see you, Russ. Thank you, bud.
Okay. Talk to you later, guys. Yeah. Oh, I thought you had said, hey, Russ. You said,
no, I'll say later. Take care.
See you. All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Leslie, nice job. That was you went from like doing like at a scale 1 to 10 at about a 2 or 3, you went up to an 8 or 9 that quickly. It's all mindset. And what I don't want you to feel like you need to go to your notes. You can have your notes, you can have them as little pieces, but when you feel dependent on your notes, it throws you off your game. And you have to believe in yourself because you got it. Right? You need to know that. It's not about Silver and I knowing that. We can see it, we can hear it. But when you believe it and you speak with confidence, you're untouchable. But that's where you got to get to, and practice is going to help you get there, right? Definitely. So that's why this isn't to put anybody on the spot. This is about you hopping in, being brave, making, you know, whatever mistakes or corrections we need to make right now. So when we go live, we don't want to learn when the money's on the line. You know what I mean?
Right.
We want to learn now. So when the money's on the line, you perform and you're on point and you connect and they hear it and they like you and they connect with you, and then you move them along through the process.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I did at the beginning, Leslie, and I was doing exactly the same thing as you were, you know, because like, first of all, I didn't have anything written down, and I just read it. I mean, hear it from Brandon and Russ, and I just get like frozen in the middle of my next question, or you know, or do more follow up after that, and I was just like, ooh, you know, I start just going off, right? So what I did is I wrote down the script that the way Russ answers. I mean, the way he called, right?
Right.
He makes the call. I wrote it down, and when I wrote it down and I practiced it for a little bit, I thought I had it. And then Russ and I role play again, and I was like, he threw me off. Why? Because I was following the script. I didn't have it in my mind.
Yeah.
So when he says something else, and I was trying to read the script, and I'm like, oh, this is not gonna work if I'm making a phone call. I'm like, anybody's gonna throw me off the game, you know.
Right.
So I kind of put it together, but I read it, you know, until I start getting it in my head, and then I can switch while I'm talking on the phone, but I know what's coming next, but I can make it look like it's normal, or the conversation is flowing naturally, not looking at the script. I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Right. Right.
So,
That's good.
Yeah, that helped me out a little bit more. But no, right now that I was watching you, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the
hard.
same. No, Leslie, it's the same thing. So when I went to the Mike Berry prospecting school, they hammer the scripts, right? And they're just like, stick to the scripts, stick to it. When I tried to stick to the script, I sucked. I was horrible with the script. But that's why I'm trying to show you a trick that I figured out. And once I figured that out, no matter who I'm talking to, no matter what the situation is, I know I can go to that space and be good. And when you can get to that, it doesn't matter what curveball they throw at you. It doesn't matter how difficult they're being. It doesn't matter what objection they're giving you. You know you can get to that place, and that's where I want you to get to. And it's a belief, and it's a knowing that you've been able to do something good for somebody just this last week. So you're on an emotional high. You need to capitalize on that. You don't go back to, I don't have any business, or it's been a while, or I'm newer in the business. None of that. You get out of that. You're in a space right now that I'd say 90 to 95% of the real estate agents out there don't have the story that you have to tell right now. So you need to speak from that place of conviction. And all it takes is one person who listens to the sincerity in what you're saying, and you won that day. And then you do it again tomorrow and you win that day. But you have to keep doing that. And that's why sometimes people call past clients just to hear somebody who they successfully helped buy a house, to get them in the right state of mind. And then after they call that past client and feel good, hey, how you doing? How are you enjoying your house? And I'm at that good place. I help that person. I know that I'm a good real estate agent, and I'm here to find another person that I can help put into a house or sell their house, right? So when I do that, it's an ego confidence booster for me. So now when I'm speaking to complete strangers that don't know me from anybody else, I can't get on the phone and say, yeah, you don't know who I am? What do you mean you don't know who I am? You know, do you know all the people I've helped? You can't come from that area. They hear it in your voice. They hear it in your sincerity. They hear it in how you ask questions and listen to them, that, okay, this person truly is somebody good who could potentially help me. So that's where I was like, don't worry about the notes. Stop. And every time you say, I need my notes, I need to do it, you're limiting yourself. You can't think like that. Maybe you practice that way because that's how you know you learn, and that's fine. That's good. But when we do our live role play, just go from the heart and just trust it and trust yourself. And that's where I want to get you to that confidence every single time, because if you get there, like I said, you're unstoppable, you know, so it's cool to see it. And that's,
thank you.
Of course, it's all real, Leslie. So just keep doing, you know, showing up is 90% of it. Getting on this call, you know what I mean? And we all, believe me, I didn't want to do this morning. I'll be the first to admit, as I'm thinking about yesterday, like, damn, 9 o'clock tomorrow, we got to do our call, you know, and it's like, I got to get that out of my head, change it. And so I listened to my Earl Nightingale Essence of Success this morning, on point. What, you know, got a little bit of working out and got to do things to get my head to the right space. And then when Russ and I first connected, and then you hop on, and then Silver does, now it's game time. You know what I mean? Now it's time to, we're here to become professionals. We're here to become our very best. So it's not just learning. Let's start making calls and kicking some butt. You know what I mean?
Yes, just, you know, practicing. The more I feel this way, the more we practice, the more the more we get in tune with what we have to say. And fear, you start losing that fear of making a phone call. You know, like, you know, now I'll get excited, but Brandon goes like, Silver, so you want to make some phone calls? I said, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
You know, before I was like, no, I think I'm good right now. You know, like, what do you mean you're good? You're not good. You need to get something going, you know. Right. So that's what we hear. That's what we're practicing. This is work.
This is work. All right. And because you guys are on, I'm sending right now 4 leads to each of you right now. So you guys
All
got
right.
new ones coming in.
Sounds good.
So let's start putting it
Okay.
to work. Yeah. And then how much time do you have, Leslie? Do you
So I have to call my clients at 10.
okay. So that's at 9 minutes
like,
right now. And then
right.
yeah, so I just sent you both 4 leads. Let's hop on something, or we can try one more role play if you like before you have to leave. And then if you can, just make the calls after. Silver, are you
Okay.
still going to stay on with me and make some calls after this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after you make your call, Leslie,
We got to make an appointment.
Yeah.
We got to have an appointment today.
absolutely, we got to set one appointment. After you make your call, hop back on. It's the same link, and then
Okay.
and then we'll finish it out. And believe me, I got other things I got to do today too. So I'm gonna try to get off by 11 o'clock. Hard stop at 11. So if
Okay.
yeah, so depending on how long your call goes, just hop back on when you can, even if it's towards
Okay.
the end of it. Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Let's do some role play. I think that'll be perfect.
Okay.
Right
Do you want to Silver? Do
Yeah.
you want to role play one just so she gets a different
Good idea.
person? Yeah.
Good idea.
Sure.
Are you going to
Okay.
be the agent, Leslie?
You know what, Silver? Do you want to be the agent, and then I'll switch over?
Okay.
I'll switch to be the agent after.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Leslie?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Leslie. This is Silverio Martinez. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. Leslie, the reason why I'm calling is because you signed up on my website, and I was just getting an idea on what you're looking for.
Oh yeah. I was just looking. Yeah, I was browsing. I've been thinking about it, but I'm not really serious right now.
Great. Well, you know, that's how you start. That's the beginning of the process. But you know, and the reason why I ask is because I get across some really good deals sometimes before they even hit the market. Would you like to know if any of those good deals come my way? Maybe can share with you. What are you looking for?
Sure. I mean, at the moment, I'm just looking for a townhouse or starter home. I don't really, I don't know the exact area that I was looking in. I have a couple. You know, I like Camarillo, I like Ventura, so those 2 areas.
A townhome, great. Well, that's a good start. You know, in the real estate business, not business, but in the real estate. You know, buying your own property. Leslie, let me ask you, how large is your family? How many bedrooms you need? How many bath?
I'm hoping to get at least 3 bedrooms and 2 baths.
3 plus 2. How about your family? Do we need to be closer to elementary school, a junior high school, or just a high school?
You know, I guess futuristically, yeah, I guess I do need to be closer to a school.
Perfect. Leslie, have you started looking into talking to a lender yet? Do you know if you qualify for a loan, and who else is coming into the loan? Just yourself, or your husband, or your significant other?
You know, I haven't spoken to a lender. Like I said, I'm just looking.
Got it.
Let's stop right there, guys. So Leslie, what were your feelings based on how Severio handled it? Would you have stayed on the phone? Would you have answered those questions the way he asked the questions?
Honestly, I almost would have been like, hey, you know what? I'm actually not even ready yet because I haven't spoken to a lender, and
on the loan.
It's
right.
me on the loan.
Well, let's remember in the order, we want to try to, if we can, set the appointment before we're trying to get them to the lender. Remember, we want to meet with them face to face. But Silver, awesome job. You did great. Leslie, only because you got a couple more minutes, let's do a role play. I want you to be the agent.
Okay.
I'll be the buyer on it. Let's just switch it really quick. But I want you to get one more practice because Silver and I will have time after you hop off. Okay. So let's get you one more time. Remember, just speak from the heart. Get excited. Remember, at the beginning, when they're not giving you any information, you got to create some value. So try to say something that's going to get them excited to start opening up on sharing what it is they're looking for. Okay?
Okay, got it.
All right. So you're the agent. Go ahead. Give me a call.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Brandon?
Yes, this is.
Hi, Brandon. My name's Leslie. I'm with Veteran Home Services, and I was just calling because I noticed you were on my website looking in Agora Hills and Camarillo. So tell me, Brendan, tell me a little bit about what you're looking for.
Oh, Leslie, we're just checking some things out online.
Okay, and you're just checking things out, and that's perfectly fine. I work at my client's pace, so there's no worry about that. But if I did come across good deals, let me give you an example. So I'm actually working with buyers right now, and I'm actually working with a couple clients of mine, and they found a great deal here in Camarillo. And let me tell you, Brendan, I was able to get them in. I mean, it was a multiple offer scenario, and we're in escrow right now, and I would love that for you. But again, I'm not pressuring you to anything. I just want to give you more information. I know you're not ready yet right now, but if I did come across any short sales or foreclosures, would you be interested in knowing more about them?
Yes, yes. And let's practice that again, Leslie. So that was good. You got to it. No, it took a little bit, but you got to it. You said the things you needed to, but we want to get more efficient and clean with it, right? So the excitement level was good. You explained it. It just took a little longer before you're able to say what it is that you wanted to say, and it's okay. That's why we got to keep practicing it. Let's do it again one more time. The other thing is try not to say pressure you. Just get straight to we work with our clients at their pace, right? But what we found is with our clients that have really gotten the best opportunities, we do a lot of preparation up front. We educate them on the process. We really understand what their needs and their wants are. And you can even say for this buyer, I've been working with her for 6 months, right? And she had to sell her other property. I had to point her in touch with the right loan officer, even though she didn't need a loan, right? But what you're saying is the preparation process takes a little bit of time. So we got to start now, even if you're thinking 6 months to a year from now. Okay.
Right.
So let's try it again one more time. Okay. So from the beginning.
Ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Brendan?
Yes, this is.
Hi, Brendan. My name is Leslie. I'm with Veteran Home Services, and I was just calling to let you know I noticed you were looking on my website at a couple properties in Agora Hills and Camarillo. And tell me, Brendan, what are you looking for?
I appreciate the call, Leslie, and thank you for reaching out. But we're just browsing online right now. We're really not ready to buy a home.
Okay. Oh, you're just browsing right now?
Yes.
Perfect. And that's not a problem. Brendan, I like to work at my client's pace. So as things come up, I'd be more than happy to give you more information. So Brendan, I'm actually currently working with my clients that I've been working with for about 6 months now. And let me tell you, we've had our challenges in finding a home, and we finally found the right one in Camarillo. And let me tell you, it turned into a multiple offer scenario.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, we opened escrow over the weekend, and I was able to negotiate the right price for them. And, the only reason I bring this up is, Brendan, if I did come across a good deal, would you want to know about it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I just don't want to waste your time or commit to anything right now. It's like I said, my wife and I just started kind of just seeing what's out there online and getting a feel for what's out on the market. I mean, do you think the prices are going to come down?
That's a great question, Brendan. I wish I could answer that. At this point, I don't have a crystal ball, so I'm not sure what the future holds. What I do know is that homes are retaining their value, but that doesn't mean you can't get a good deal.
Good job.
There are multiple areas that we can be searching in, and part of that is getting you ready to purchase in the future. I know you're not ready yet right now, but there's a couple of things we need to go over to get you there. And like I said, my clients, it took about 6 months to get them there, and I wish the same for you. Whether I'm the right agent for you or not, I want to be the one to help you. So what's a good time for you, afternoon or evening?
Nice job. What do you think? Yeah, no, very nice job. What do you think, Silver?
I like it when she No, good job. A lot more fluently now. I like it when you're explaining. When you throw that curveball to her and say, "Well, Leslie, you think the price is going to come down?" I like your answer. That was a good answer.
That was hard. That was a hard one.
Yeah. Because you were trying to follow the script that we've been working on, and when he said that, I saw it, in your face. It's not like ooh, but you came back real quick and like, oh, listen, I wish I would have, a crystal ball, but I don't. But that it breaks it away that when people are asking that kind of question, because people like they want to see if you're gonna lie.
Yep.
Right.
Test.
That is true.
And it's true. You don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what the future will hold, and you just tell them the truth.
Yep. So that's bingo. The first thing you did right was you told the truth. The second thing you did right is you listened to what I said, and you capitalized on it, and you used that to create value. So what you're telling me is you're looking for a good opportunity, right? By asking that question, you put 2 and 2 together that they're looking for a good deal. So then you went to, well, that's where we prepare our clients so that they can get a great opportunity. And then you started selling it. That right there is the essence of succeeding on these calls. You got to be able to hear what they're saying, connect the dots, and do what you got to do. So I know you got to go. It's already 10:03. Leslie, awesome job. Way to finish it out. And that's what we got to keep practicing. And that was all off the top of your head. That was your instincts. That wasn't a script. That's what you got to rely on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Brendan.
Nice job. All right. We'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Good luck. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. That was cool.
That was a good job.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. Good training session already. So, so let's hop on the calls now, man. And I just sent the top 4 to you and to her, to Leslie. So I didn't even go through to see what they were. So I know some of them are high price points, some are whatever. But let's go through and make some calls. Okay.
I'm gonna take a couple of minutes break. I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm gonna pause this right now on the recording.
That you were trying to make him commit to meet with you.
Oh.
Okay, that was good. That was good. And what reinforced that is like when you say, "Hey, let me tell you, I was just helping. I'm helping a client of mine, and we got a good deal over here in Camarillo. It's a single family home, detached, blah, blah, blah." I gave him all this story about that. But then you say, but that wasn't a multiple the multiple offers. If my client wasn't ready, we would have lost that opportunity.
Oh,
that was huge. Because after you say that, then he opened up and said, "Okay, well, let's meet. Can I have your phone number?" Because now he's interested. Because you told him, I said, I want you to be ready. I want to get you ready when that moment comes. We'll be able to snatch that property, and it's a win-win opportunity. I felt that when you were on that transition, I saw him changing, because he was reluctantly at the beginning, but then he changed, because he's like, well, she's right, and that is actually a fact. If they're not ready, even if they want a good deal, they won't get it because they're not ready.
I'm so upset because I just realized that when I paused the recording when we went to the restroom, Silver, I just turned it on after the recording. But Leslie,
you're my witnesses.
I know, Silver and I know. This is for the record. You rocked it. That was awesome. That was to come in and handle a first call like that's awesome. You set the bar high, so now we got to step our game up. So let's.
Thank you. And Brendan, I'm going to be honest with you. The conversation that we had prior to this this phone call really helped me get into that mindset, and then be able to pull that naturally out, the scenario out. So
it was good. No, it was good. And it's early on. It was a little bit, kind of not connecting. I could tell just off the way you were doing it, but you hung in there and you kept trying. And he heard the sincerity in your voice. That's why he stayed on the phone. That's all you need. Remember, if you ever need anything to kind of bank off of, be empathetic, respect their situation, understand them, listen to them, apologize when you need to, right? They'll give you extra time, and then you'll be able to think of, okay, this is how I'm going to create the value. and you did it,
Yeah.
and you tried it, and you already shared the scenario, and it was beautiful. It tied in. You don't need to give every single detail. You just got to give enough for them to know that, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing right now. And I just got somebody's offer accepted right now, just on Friday, in this multiple offers. So people are buying right now. Activities happening, multiple still happening. So this is why we need to get together now. This is why we need to get prepared now. So you did a great job. You knocked it out of the park. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and she said that she's like, the reason why we got it is because my client was ready.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
if he wasn't ready, then we would have lost that opportunity.
And let me tell you, I wasn't planning all that. Like it was a natural thing. Oh yeah, my clients would not have been ready if it wasn't for that. It's true. So
it makes it easier when it's true. So
yeah.
that's Silver and I are going to be like, so we just had a client on Friday, a multiple offer situation, and you know what? We're really good, so we got that offer accepted. We've been working with them for 6 months. Hey, it's creating the value. I'm not saying to not be authentic on here, but they have to hear that in your voice. When they hear it, people can hear it. This guy knows business, right? And if he can see an advantage with working with you right now, he's looking. He hasn't committed to you, right? He just stayed on the phone and answered. Now, next step is tomorrow. So you call him about the same time tomorrow. See if you connect with him again. That's your first call. And if he doesn't pick up, it's okay. You call a little bit later, right? And then even if he doesn't connect, then that's fine. But now you start sending him some information or just a quick email and just say, hey, we talked the other day. You mentioned you're looking for a single story. I know it's further than you probably want. I know the HOA is a little higher, but I want to make sure that I tell you about it. It's not on the market right now. It's over in Port Hueneme at $325, right? Fits your budget. And it's on a single story, you know?
Yeah.
Also has interior washer dryer, which the rest of them share that. So so let's jump on some more calls so that we can hopefully get some more success here. And that's a great way to start it though. Way to come in.
Thank you.
Lesli.
Hey, you're going to set 5 appointments today. Watch. You set 5 today, you're already good for the week.
Woohoo!
So you already got today. Cool. Well, and it's good to front load it too. You know, that's when I was doing the recruiting stuff. When you're hot, you got to go and then just set. And then because you don't know what's going to come up tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. So while you're in the zone, now it's connecting. Now you're saying the right things. So, but make sure you check that chat because I didn't want to have to take that chance that he could hear me, you know, talking in the background. You see the group chat? So on the bottom, there's a button that says chat. And double click on that, have that window open. The other thing
I did. Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I was trying to give you tips and points. Okay.
Okay.
So can I delete all this that's on here now? No, it's still on there.
You know what we can do is I can make sure to have mine on if you want to give me pointers verbally.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to have
I can write on the screen share kind of similar as what he was doing too. You were just in the zone, so I didn't want to throw you off. Yeah, no, you were doing good. So but remember the website's called VenturaCountyShortSales.com. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Cool. Ready.
So I'm calling a past client that just showed up to that home buyer workshop right now. And I got to see where she's at.
Oh.
Hello, Romina? Yes. Hi, this is Silverio Martinez with Century 21. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Great. Romina, the nature of my call is because I see you sign up on my real estate website, and I was just calling to get an idea of what you're looking for. I saw that you were looking for some properties in Granada Hills and what's the other one? Porter Ranch in San Fernando Valley. What can I help you find?
Sorry, sir, it's not a good time for me to talk about this. Can I call you? Like, can you please call me later?
Yeah, what would be a good time I can call you?
Like the afternoon after like 4, maybe.
Perfect. I'll give you a call at 4:30. Would that be okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Do you hear that, Leslie?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if she was really looking, or I mean, she was on the website. But it's tough, Silverio. It's just tough sometimes because I get those callers too, or not callers, prospects too.
Yeah, soliciting.
And it's hard because sometimes they're not fully motivated.
Correct.
So sometimes you have to get them motivated somehow on the phone, and they're, who knows what they were doing before we call, right? Sometimes they're just watching TV or just relaxing, so they're not really like fully awake. And I don't know, I guess my constructive criticism would be to try and get them motivated, but how to do it sometimes is hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. And I was gonna do the other, you know how Russ teaches that 3 times you gotta ask the same thing. If they don't tell you at the beginning, maybe in the second question, maybe in the third one. But the fact that she's kind of says slowly, she's like, right now it's not the right time to talk. Can you call me back later? You know, I didn't want to keep digging into that because then she was gonna hang up. That's just what I thought. So like, all right, so later, what what time is a good time? Oh, after 4. Oh, so if I call you 4:30, would that be okay? Yeah, that'll be great. Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's good to, like what Russ says. Oh, you have to go. That's great. Before I let you go, but it's and I've tried it, but sometimes they still say, no, I really do gotta go.
Yeah, no, like, I got it too.
Wait a minute, give me a second.
Yeah. You're like, this conversation is not going like the way Russ said it's supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make another lead follow-up. So this is a new lead, but somebody who was referred to watch that home buyer class. So I'm just doing a follow-up. They had some good engagement. Not exactly sure where I'm going to go with it, but I'm going to try to find out. So if I connect, I'll leave it on speaker for you guys. If you guys want to hear it, feel free to keep making calls though. You don't need to wait. So, and then all I did was when you connected, because I was leaving a voicemail, I just turned the volume down so that your voice wasn't coming through, but that you two could still hear each other. You know what I mean? And then and I muted myself so that my voice didn't come over it, on that. But on this one, I'll leave it on speaker here, and then whoever connects, just raise your hand.
Okay. What was I gonna do? Give me a second.
Hey, this is Tyler. Leave a message, I'll call you back.
Hey, Tyler, it's Brandon Ramey with Veteran Home Services. Hope you're doing well. Hey, bud, just wanted to follow up with you. And number one, thank you for taking the time and joining us for that home buyer class. It was our first virtual home buyer class. And, it was just great that you were able to hang in there as long as you did. I hope you got some great value and some great information there. But just wanted to follow up and get a little bit of feedback and see if there was any way that I could help you out. As well as advise you for some future classes that we have coming up just based on what it is that you're looking for. We actually have a 1031 tax exchange that was supposed to be tomorrow. I'm pushing it out till June, I think it's June 5th. And we're going to try the Friday sessions probably about 5 o'clock just so that there's no work on Saturday, ideally for most people. And then the Q&A goes a little bit longer, but we're going to try harder to keep it around that 1 hour time block. So just appreciate your patience, looking for some feedback. Whenever you get some time, you got myself, 805-815-1327. Have a blessed day, Tyler, and thank you again for your time and commitment to learning, the home buying process. Talk to you soon.
It was a good voicemail.
Yeah, just a follow up. Try to
So
create.
Brendan, I had a couple of my buyers tune in to the first time workshop, and it was really good.
Oh, cool.
I'm hoping to get them ready soon, but you know how it is, the whole situation with the work and what's going on.
Right.
So
you had a few that you forwarded it to, or they were actually on the call?
Oh, they were on the call.
Oh, cool. Which ones? So I don't accidentally follow up or send anything to them. Do you know what their names are?
So Jolene is one of them, and then I have a friend of mine from college. Her name's Denise, but I think her husband was the one that was on the call.
Denise.
I don't know his name, to be honest.
Yeah, we ended up having 47 register, and 2 of them registered that didn't get in because they did it kind of last minute. So I don't know. I'll pull the list up. I have all their emails, but
Okay.
Even though a lot of them early on, I required the phone number. I can't, for whatever reason, I haven't seen the phone numbers on the report. So the only ones I'm calling are ones that text me directly saying they were trying to register. But what I would recommend, if you haven't done it already, is I recorded both of those on 2 videos. I'm going to edit them some more and clean them up even more, but it takes a long time to do it. So at least you have videos right now that are recorded. They're both pretty decent, but you can send both of those out and just share it with them and say, hey, in case you weren't able to get on, but call them first. I would talk to them first. If you can't get a hold of them, then send them a text and send the video link and say, just in case you didn't see it, or if you want to rewatch it, check these out. But now I've actually had some good feedback. I've sent it to a few clients that are looking right now, and they're like, dude, I love being able to listen to this at my pace when I want to hear it. And they're like, I like your dad's perspective on a lot of things. So it's cool. It's just, it's all good content, but we're going to get some more kind of cut up smaller segments. So you don't have to sit and listen for 2-3 hours. You know what I mean? Trying to power through.
Yeah, no worries. And I don't know who else, I invited that might have gone on, but I'll let you know, and I'll send them over. I'll send them the video over. So. For
sure. And just so you know, we have the next one I'm going to do. So Silver, were you able to hear any of the home buyer classes? Were you able to hop on at all?
I did on the second one.
On the second one?
Yeah.
Cool.
That was good.
Okay, cool. Well, what we're going to try to do moving forward is it'll probably be every couple weeks. I mean, at least once a month. We'll probably set it up on a Friday at like 5 o'clock. So I was going to try 7, but I think 7's a little too late. But it's also, I mean, right now with the whole stay-at-home order, the Friday nights are pretty open, at least for myself. I don't know if it's for everybody else, but it's like, I got a buddy who DJs that Friday at 7 o'clock, and I'll hop on and the kids are watching it. And he's just DJing, and like a lot of people are hopping on. I was like, damn, that's actually kind of a good time, that 7 o'clock window on Friday, because there's no work on Saturday. People are still at the home, can't do a whole lot. So, but I think because this guy's the 1031 tax guy, which I had him do it last time, but it was death by PowerPoint. And he's got a lot of great information, but it was just like slide after slide, and he was just lecturing that it didn't do what I wanted it to do. And what I want it to be more like, if Leslie, I know you sat through both days, right?
Yeah.
When all the questions were coming in, like off Facebook, and we were answering question after question, we want to kind of almost turn it into like a radio show where people can call in live, ask questions, send texts, send messages, and then we just do it off the top. So we're going to have a subject matter specialist, like this guy, Phil Atwan with 1031 Tax Exchange, that this is for your investors. So real estate agents can hop on this and learn about the 1031 Tax Exchange process. Investors can learn how to buy more properties and why they want to invest, and the tax write-offs, how it all works, how it's all deferred, what types of properties to identify, what the timelines look like. So all these different things. So the consumer can benefit, the agent can benefit, and we're going to push it out. It was supposed to be tomorrow. I pushed it out to like June 5th. So it's still a ways out. We got about 3 weeks. And then when we get to the week of, we'll start pushing it hard, and then you guys are welcome to promote it as much as you want. But even the agents can hop on. This isn't just going to be like, oh, it's just going to be my dad and I talking. We're going to have other agents speaking as well. So even if two of you would like to say something or ask some questions, like have some questions prepared. That way, if your clients are on there, you can still contribute. And it's just something, it's more of a group forum that we're trying to create here. But no, dude, it's there's definitely some potential there. We got to tap in and figure out what it is, and then just be the first one to do it on a regular basis. But Facebook Live, definitely, there's a draw to it on there, and it had like 200-300 views. Most people are hopping in for a few seconds and bouncing. You know what I mean? So it doesn't say a lot in terms of who's actually staying on. But all it takes is one. You get 1 or 2 people who stay on, and it's like, all right, that was cool, you know. And they stay in and engage. But there's something there, so we're trying to tap into it and figure out what it is.
No, and I see how helpful it is for those that, for example, are in the percolation stage, right? They don't know, they don't really know if right now is the right time to even care to look, you know. But I think that the points that your dad brought up, it's always a good time. If you can afford it right now, if you can afford those payments, it's always a good time. And, you know, especially scenarios that pop up when you do open escrow, those things are really important because people don't know what to expect.
Right.
You know? It's kind of scary for a lot of people. And, you know, that does help not be so scary.
if you take the time, Leslie, and watch those videos, and I know they're long, I actually re-listened to one of them yesterday. I was like, damn, there's actually more good content on here than I even realized while I was listening to it, because I'm watching questions, I'm making sure everything's running correctly, like I'm doing more admin support, so I'm not even listening to what my dad's speaking about half the time, you know what I mean? And it's I realized, I even told him after, I was like, damn, you actually said some good stuff, you know. And I was like, you know, I'm interviewing you, not even listening, which is completely disrespectful, you know. And I'm just hearing it. I was like, this is actually really good. Like, there's some good stuff here. Now there's things that could have been better. Always rooms for improvement. Right. But Leslie, the way my dad taught myself, and everybody in our company starting out, Teresa Robledo, who's killing it, right? Everybody, Ken Sampson, all these people who started, Danny Munoz, Pete Delgado, Walter Trujillo, they all came to the company. But the way our training was, that class, that home buyer class, is how he taught us how to do real estate. And it was mandatory for the agents to have to go and attend those and then bring people to it, because not only did it help us bring business, but that's how I learned how to do my buyer consultation meeting. That timeline, you seen me teach the timeline. That's what I teach. And that's what creates a value. So when we got those clients out in West Hills that bought for $760, he loved the fact that I took the time to show him what happens from beginning to end on the whole process. And after that, that was my buyer broker agreement. And that's how we captured them. And they stuck with you when you were showing them property and doing everything. You did the legwork, but it was that initial meeting that captured them. So master the classes, listen to it, that training there. And there's more to it, but that's like 70 to 90% of it. So just keep listening to it until it becomes your own. And then you're going to get stronger on your prospecting. You're going to get stronger on your converting, everything. But wanted to share it. Silver obviously goes the same thing. And I know you've been doing this for a while. But as you know, we're always learning. You know, there's always something to pull from different people and different things we can implement. And I know you and I have talked about what you do at buyer consultations, and it's very similar, you know, in a lot of ways. So it's just refining your own thing. And that's what we're going to master here, Leslie. You're going to master your story as a real estate agent. You're going to master your testimonials, your examples. This is all selling. They're called sound bites. So practice that sound bite. Record yourself telling this story, getting more and more excited. You know what? I just helped these buyers that I've been working with for 6 months get their dream home last Friday, and I'm so excited. And I'd love to do the same thing for you. That's all you have to say, right? Just that little quick set.
And look at yourself in the mirror when you're doing that.
Now, question. Does my hair have to be done?
Nah. No, but you know what? That helps me. Like, I do it, right? It helps me.
No, Silver, you don't do that.
I do it. But it helps me to see my manners on how I'm talking when I'm actually I know that one day I'm going to be talking in front of a family, trying to, tell them their story,
Definitely.
so it helps. It helps me.
It does.
No,
No,
that's great.
The king
That's-
of
that's a good idea.
selfies. We know you're looking at yourself in the mirror once, at least 5 times a day, Silver.
Love it.
You don't look that good without it, right, bro?
Right?
No, it's
Love it.
yeah. No, this is good though. This is already a good session. So we're already past our time here. Do you guys want to make any more calls? Are you guys good for today?
I'm good. I gotta do other things right now,
Good.
but I'm still gonna do those calls right
Cool.
now as soon as I make some phone calls over here.
Perfect. What were we
Yeah.
gonna
You
say?
know what? Real quick. So I think Silverio and I should practice in Spanish one of these days. Do a role play in Spanish, because believe it or not, there are times where a Spanish speaker will pop up and there's words that just don't pop up to my mind.
Well, you know why? You know
Common
why?
words.
You know why? Because everything we're learning in English, and,
Yeah.
and for us, it's hard to translate that like that. Well, we have somebody in Spanish speaking, and we're like,
Right.
all right, how do you say that? Or how do I communicate? How do I translate that to this? You know,
Right.
it doesn't translate the same way. We just lose it in translation. So no, I'm done. I'm good with that. I don't know if Brandon want to be part of it, but we can have a session, a video session. Just
Well, no, you guys definitely do it, and it's good to practice it on the phone. I mean, what I would recommend is, I think the two of you need to set some time, definitely minimum 1 time a week, that you both commit to role playing and practicing together. The more that we all do it, we should all have sessions set up during the week, right? So like we talked about, Leslie, doing a coaching session, a role play session is just as important, if not more important. The practice is important. And that's what Mike Ferry was talking about, 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. So if you're not practicing on your own, and you don't, if we don't have the discipline to just make sure we practice, that's why this is my favorite part of this, what we're doing. Yeah, obviously we want to get business, but it's the practice. We're on video practicing, right? So if you two can do your own Zoom meeting, great. If you need me to coordinate something, let me know what date and time. I'll set it up for the two of you, and then just make sure it's on there.
I can set it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
So you set it up so the two of you guys just set your time, but at least get it once a week. And then if you see that you like it, there's no reason why you don't do it 5 times a week or 2 times a week or whatever. Do it for 15 minutes. It doesn't got to be for an hour, right? Just 15 minutes, first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock, boom. All right, let's do our call. Ring, ring, Silver, and then just start going in Spanish, and bust it out. But you guys do that. You're going to see your learning curve. I mean, I already saw with Silver spending 1 day with Russ, it was like night and day, just based off like the hour or whatever amount of time you spent with Russ on that day. I was like, Russ, what did you do? You know what I mean? I asked, I was like, what'd you do to my friend here? Because it's not the same Silver. He's actually really good now, you know?
No, it was good because we focused on one thing only, and he'll stop me while I was talking. He was like, stop.
Yep.
And then he was like, what's like this, and I was like, wow, okay. And now I was getting pumped up. Okay, now let's go. Do it again.
Yep.
You know, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, no, it works.
Yeah. This is what will make us successful. The better that we practice and the more we fine tune these skills, it's not everybody's, oh, it's a numbers game. It's not. Yeah, well, we can make those numbers get a lot better, and we don't need as many leads. We only need a couple leads. You literally, even the leads I shared with you today, that should be enough. I'm not saying it's enough for the whole week, but be more, you just on point. Every single time you call, it's like, okay, I'm only getting 1 lead this week. I'm only getting 3. Well, I'm going to be a lot more careful. But if I think I'm getting 10, 20, 15, 20 leads that are going to come, you don't have the same type of focus. So you got to be focused and treasure every single opportunity. And you know, again, it's not to just keep pumping your ego. You rocked it on that call with that guy. That wasn't an easy investor call. Any of us with regardless amount of level of skill, experience, whatever, could have choked on that guy easy. Or been like, no, it's not a good fit. You kept going with it. And you stayed confident, you stayed calm and sincere and worked all the way through it. So the more we do this, you're going to see it's just going to be like second nature. This is going to be something like Silver said where it's fun. It's like, all right, I get excited. Like, it's like, let's go. You know, let's do this because it's game time now. You know what I mean? Like you turned on when it was game time, you flipped it. It wasn't Leslie, oh, I need my notes. It was, let's go. You know what I mean?
And let me tell you, there was an adrenaline rush to it. And
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
it had to do with all of us on and just, we got to do it right the first time.
You see, that's the reason why I was talking to you the other day about Leslie. You gotta appear on the video because we can
Yeah.
see you.
No, of course.
In your mind, you know we're watching you. You know.
Right.
So
No.
that brings-
Well, I kind of blanked out on, I'm like, okay, no, I am on video, but it was just,
Stay
let me get
focused.
the job done, you
Yeah.
know?
That's
That's what's important.
That's when the double strength comes up because now you know
Yeah.
you're on video and you know
Yeah.
that you gotta perform. So you're like, all right, let's bring it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It helps.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, great way to start
does.
the week, guys. And I'm also gonna watch that Mike Ferry stuff too. If you guys want to get back in on the first day of it, it's up to you. Maybe we can set some time later this week. I'm gonna try to watch it, make sure that it's worth our time, and I'm sure it is. But we can schedule some training time during the week and hop on that if you guys think it'd be helpful at all. Just getting organized, just based off what you were saying earlier, Silver, about the schedule, time blocking, and doing that. That's all Mike Ferry, dude.
Yeah,
That's all. He's
Yeah.
all about the discipline and understanding how to make the most out of our time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Definitely. And Brendan, can you
Uh-huh.
send that video over? Because I really do want to watch it over again. I got a phone call in between,
No
right in the
problem.
middle of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna, I'm not supposed to do that, but I'm gonna try to find the way that I can do it. Because I got to be careful on YouTube with that stuff, and that's usually the way I upload my Zoom meetings when I record it.
Oh,
I upload it and then I put it on a private link. I don't want it to get traced or tracked back to me. So it definitely can't be public. It's got to be private and then no social media or anything about it. You know what I mean?
no, definitely.
Yeah, but we'll figure out a way. I'm sure I'll find a way to send it. But I'm gonna start because they screwed up the Mike Ferry organization screwed up. I'm gonna stop it right now. I'm here recording for this. The MMAs are money making activities. So one of the things that I learned from Ken early on is he would go straight to his office and then just start writing out like, okay, who do I need to touch today and this week? And he literally just like, you don't turn the computer on, you don't turn emails on, text, nothing.
Yeah.
You just start like literally take pen and pad and just start writing it out. Okay, who do I need to talk to? What are MMAs? So when I make these calls, it could lead to business. And when I started doing that and practicing that on a regular basis, I started doing business. You start focusing on money-making activities, you make money. That's the way it works out, right?
Yep.
So prospecting is a piece of it, but it's not the only piece. It's one piece of it. The more important is your follow-up, and it's connecting with your database, checking in with them. How are you doing? How's the family? How's the jobs? How are your hours? How are things going?
Right.
Are you still thinking about doing something in the future? Yeah, just not right now. That's fine. We work with our clients at their own pace, right? Regardless, whether you're talking to these or them, that's how we work. It's about when you're ready, not us. I'm just calling to check in on you and make sure that you're doing good. And if I can offer any resources or market updates, is that something you'd be interested in? Absolutely. Okay. Well, I'll check in with you in about a month from now, right?
You're right. Resources, market updates.
Yep.
Those are awesome value.
That is value. That's what who's going to say no to that, right?
Right.
Especially if it's a client, or a family member or friend or whatever, they're not going to say, as long as you're not pushing yourself on them because you're desperate for business, that's a different kind of call. But if you call truly to help out and check in on them, who doesn't want to hear your voice? And the problem that Mike Ferry said that the agents are having right now is because people are picking up the phone and they're excited to hear from you because they're not hearing from people. You can't get them off the phone. That's the challenge right now, which is good.
Yeah, you're right.
All you need to do, you just make a few calls now. You don't need to make 100 calls. Just have a few good conversations. And what I started learning is when I stack good conversation on every day, I have 2 or 3 good conversations. Then by the end of that week, I got business and I'm out there showing property and I'm putting deals together. But it's those good quality conversations I stack day by day by day. Okay.
No, that makes sense. Perfect. I'm going to get on those calls.
All right, let's wrap.
How do we get to see the videos again from the first-time home buyers?
I'll send you the links right now. I'm going to text it to you, Silver.
Leslie, what's your phone number?
Same. My phone number is 254
254
5363. No, 6353. What's
6
wrong with me? 6353.
6353.
You know, you should hear me trying to say my phone number in Spanish. I'm like, oh no, I'm like translating 8, 8, 1.
Did you say Leslie? Did you say 6353?
Correct.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna send you a text with my information too. So let's put together a role play.
Perfect. And you know, I don't know about you, but I have time today too. Today or tomorrow, if you want to do it.
We can do it today.
Like later.
Yeah.
Let's do it today if you can. Yeah. Later, like afternoon. I have to make a couple phone calls first. But how about 1 o'clock? Does 1 o'clock work?
Let's see. Why don't we do 1:30?
1:30? Perfect. Let's do 1:30.
Okay. Then I'll set it up on the Zoom, and I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm just texting you both right now, so you're both on there. So I just sent. There's one that has blue and black. That's the first day, and the one with yellow and blue is the second day. So I actually sent the second day first, but you should have both video links there. And again, you guys check them out. Feel free to share it. And then when I get the whole Mike Ferry thing, I'm gonna set up my schedule for the week right now. So once I get everything penciled in, and that's why, you know, Leslie, let me know what works for you, and we'll do a little 30-minute coaching session.
Oh yeah.
And we can set that up.
Okay.
And then
Does Mondays work, Brandon?
Mondays are good
Would
for you?
Mondays work?
Oh, well, let's try. We'll try for Mondays. So
Okay.
you guys are doing your role play. You guys do your thing, and then maybe we can try around 2:30 to give you plenty of time. Does that sound
Perfect.
okay? 2:30.
That sounds great. 2:30.
Okay. So we'll do 2:30 coaching session, and just
I
shoot
love
me a
it.
text.
I'm setting appointments already.
You're getting, look at you. You're squeezing all of the little knowledge I have, and a bunch of knowledge Silver's got over here. And you're going to be learning at a great pace. This is what it's about. It's about collaborating, working together. We all get better. We all benefit from it.
Sure.
So,
Totally.
all right. So I got you for 2:30 today, and then I think that's it. But if there's anything else, I know you just opened that escrow. Make sure you do what you got to do to kickstart that too. You know.
Right. That's why I need a little bit of time.
Yep.
I have disclosures and stuff that I need to send over. So.
I got that Tyler Chan calling back if you guys want to hear it. This is the home buyer lead. So,
sure.
Real quick,
Sure.
1 sec. It's recording. All right. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, how's it going, Brandon? Yeah, this is Tyler.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good. Didn't recognize the number, so thanks for leaving a message. That was great.
No problem, man. Hey, thank you for joining us. What were your honest thoughts, man? We're trying to make it better for the future.
I thought it was great. You know, it's probably the first workshop type of thing I've attended via Zoom call, you know, since COVID-19 and all of that. So I thought you guys did a good job adapting to it.
Right.
You know, obviously there's some technical issues, but I mean, pretty much every small group, you know, type of Zoom thing I've had has had technical issues as well. So it's, you know, it seems like part of the part of the new normal, right?
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, it was really informative. I've taken a few home buying classes in the past.
Nice.
You know, my current situation is, you know, me and my wife, we are trying to figure out where we want to live.
Okay.
And so California wasn't top of her list initially, but you know, I was like, hey, you know, if the market looks right here, you know, it might make sense to buy home because we might be here. We don't know how long we're going to be here for. Okay. Is the variable that I think makes it a little bit harder to know if it's the right time to buy or not.
Right.
It's just, you know, I know the general rule of thumb is typically 5 to 7 years that you want to know that you're going to be there.
Right.
We're not quite at that spot yet. It's possible in the near future we might go, you know, let's settle down here for a bit. But conversely, an opportunity just came up for me to potentially move to Virginia with her.
Oh, wow.
For assignment out there. You know, I work for the DoD, so sometimes these quick turnaround rotations come up.
Okay.
And so we might be doing that. But after hearing what I heard, I'd definitely be reaching out to you guys.
Awesome.
If I was interested in buying a house. It's one of those things that like market conditions would have to, reflect more of a buying opportunity, as well as we'd have to, because right now we're just kind of weighing, do we buy, a place that we may not be able to stay for 5 to 7 years.
Right.
So that's really kind of the thing. We have about, for the type of house that we want, to put 20% down plus closing cost fees, we'd want around 115K.
Okay.
We're at about 60, so about halfway to our goal.
That's awesome.
Right. Obviously after seeing your presentation, I might have to do a few more calculations to see if it makes sense to just eat the PMI,
right.
potentially, right. A lower down payment, but, you have the PMI, right? Potentially, depending on if the opportunity came like right now and we wanted to stay here for 5 to 7 years, that's when it'd make more sense, I think, to investigate that. But I just wanted to let you know that like we especially prior to me booking that particular conference call, we were looking at buying homes, but that's our current position.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And Tyler, just to also be upfront on my end, and you're friends with Mike and Roz, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. It's Mike. I mean, as you know, awesome people.
Yep.
Because you're connected with them, I'm more than happy. And it's anybody who's in my family, friends, past clients that refer me business. I always spend the time up front. And I'm more than happy to do that for you, regardless of whether you buy now, ever, even if now is not the best time for you because of the uncertainty of how long you're going to be where you're at. I'd be more than happy to spend some time and really tailor it specifically to where you're at. Because as you mentioned, you've already sat through a few different home buyer classes and workshops. So your awareness is already at a higher level than most people that I would initially speak to, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that there aren't some areas that I could discover just by asking questions and find out that, okay, well, let me make sure I share this with you so that you can make a fully informed decision. Because what we found out in the past is a lot of times it's like, you don't know what you need to know, you know what I mean? There's that information until you start listening. It's like, oh, I didn't think about that. And that's what our hope was from doing the workshop the way that we did it, even though it didn't follow a straight line where it's like, okay, we're going to cover this, and go all the way through it.
I actually felt it flowed really well. I mean,
cool.
Just with given the question answers and things like that, I felt like it was a very cohesive and
awesome,
well-ordered one, So I mean, at least from my perspective, I thought the flow was good.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
This is a side note.
Thank you.
The other thing, I'd be down to kind of discuss this more.
Okay.
I will. One thing to note is I will be finding out about this rotation opportunity near the end of this month.
Okay.
I don't know necessarily if it makes sense to have the conversation after that, and in the case that I'm not moving.
Right.
Or if it makes sense to have it just before, and just kind of, discuss it.
Yeah.
But just letting you know that that's kind of an inflection point.
Absolutely.
In my calculations, right?
Yeah. No, go ahead. So it is something that you are interested in, though. Maybe we block out a half an hour to an hour one day. Obviously, if it takes a little longer, there's not. With this whole stay-at-home order, we have a lot more flexibility with our schedules, So if there's a time that works, are you buying this on your own, or are you married?
So I'm married.
Okay.
What's it called? So like I said, right now we have about 60K,
right?
Set aside, ready. Some of it's in stock, so we have to liquidate those.
Okay.
But, it's we can liquidate that as easy as a sell, right? And a lot of it's in gold. So in other words,
nice.
Performing well in this time.
Right.
So that was good. but yeah, so that's what we have to work with. Potentially, I could get some additional funds from family members, depending on the specifics of the situation.
Right.
In other words, if we found like this crazy, like this is a great beach home, like opportunity type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I might be able to get some money from my family, I don't know. There's a few things I could work out there.
Good.
Potentially, but as of right now, my plan is just to save up to the 115.
Right.
Unless a really good opportunity pops up where the cash flow makes sense.
Right.
I'm saying, like, the mortgage makes sense even with the PMI and the HOA and
right.
all the other costs. So that's essentially the full kind of situation I'm in. So if you'd like to meet, just kind of given all of that, I'd totally be down. I always want to learn more.
Absolutely.
And, definitely, if you guys have any more workshops, let me know. And then there's some people I could send to those as well, just because I thought it was really helpful.
Well, thank you. So, yeah, well, we definitely are going to be doing the homebuyer classes at least once a month. That'll be every month. We're going to do a virtual one just like that. I have another one coming up that's actually focused on 1031 tax exchanges. So that is more investor focused. But it's still great information and good for you to know for the long-term investment. The guy is phenomenal. His name's Phil Atwan. I used to manage an office for C21. We had about 50 agents. It was a top office for Century 21. This guy, out of everybody who came in and spoke, I could tell just had the best product knowledge, knew the 1031 tax exchange, knew just understanding investment.
Use it as a rental.
Correct.
So I can get kind of a because one of the kind of ways I was thinking about this is, like, let's just say I just stay here for the next 2 years, right? My family has a big history with, essentially over their lifetimes, my dad and his grandparents, buying houses, moving but turning them into rentals. Right, and they did this all in Vegas. So,
right.
Once again, that's a very particular housing market over there. But, so they've done that. I've thought about doing that as like a potential way to make it make sense to buy a home now.
Right.
But I don't know how easy it is to, turn it into a rental, and then, potentially I'd be moving to a new place that I couldn't find a rental or whatever, right? So,
right.
Definitely the more complex of the the options. So
right, but
ideally, my first home, though, at least in my head right now, is I save up the down payment,
right,
and just have all intents of living there for 5 to 7 years.
Right.
It's that way I have the maximum kind of expected value of that home.
Yeah. That's great. So so if there's time, I would say as early as next week, if you're open to it. If you want to speak to your wife, if you'd like to have her on the call, we could even do just a Zoom call, just one-on-one. And I'm more than happy to share everything that I can share specifically, at least see where you're at. Share as much as I can.
Really helpful.
Cool.
What time? There's a noise in the background, so excuse that. My neighbor sounds like he's doing construction.
Okay, no problem.
Usually my work ends around 4:30.
Okay.
So any weekday after 4:30, I should be able to accommodate.
Perfect.
Next week.
Okay. Do you want to? Is there a day during the week that works better for you and your wife?
Monday will probably be good. I'll ask my wife, but she'll probably decline just because she doesn't like thinking about all this.
No worries. Well, yeah. And the beauty.
She definitely likes me to think about all this.
Perfect.
Same with investing, right?
Yep.
It's very much, her risk tolerance is lower, but she trusts me, right?
Beautiful.
So, anyway.
And the beauty of this is on a Zoom call, we could have it recorded. I share it on a private link on YouTube, keep it so nobody else can see it. Then I can share it with you and you can share it with her and she could just watch it whenever she wants to watch it. I helped the client out from Texas. and they loved it, and they're like, no, this was perfect, so we're all on the same page. You know what I mean? So and it's also good for you to be able to recheck what what was it that was mentioned, or what do I need to do, or what are some of the things to look into, and then you play it
Now,
back.
are there any artifacts that like details that, and you can tell me this over text or whatever,
Sure.
that you want me to have prepared right in front of me for the call?
Right.
Like,
No, biggest thing is really just knowing kind of what's your game plan. You've already shared a lot in terms of what your thought process is, and there's already a few things that I've already come up with some ideas for, and I'll share it, when we get together for the call. So more of it is, the questions I typically ask when I start working with a buyer is, okay, so what type of work are you in? And you mentioned working for the DoD. So how long have you been in your current role, your current position?
So I'm going to be approaching 6 years in July.
Awesome.
And I'm a civilian worker for the DoD.
Right, civilian for DoD. And what type of work do you do?
I do project management.
Okay.
And engineering. So
awesome.
Kind of dual-hatted there.
Nice. And engineer. Do you do you have an engineer background as well?
Yeah, I have a master's in electrical engineering.
Nice. That's awesome. I started as aerospace engineer. I said started as aerospace engineer at San Diego State. So I tip my hat off to you, man. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, those what are they called? I can't remember the term, but the classes that are designed to make people fail.
Right.
They're cruel.
Oh yeah. No, surprisingly, I made Dean's List first semester as aerospace engineer, and it was all those brutal classes, man. My first tests were all D's on, I think, Calc, and it was Chem 200. I'm like, wait a minute, I aced Calc in high school, AP. You know what I mean? It's like, and I failed that first test, but it was a wake up, and I had to read every single page. Now it's my downfall was the fraternity I joined sophomore year.
Oh, I see.
Yep. Yeah. So, but no, happy where I ended up for sure. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I've always entertained the thought of becoming on the side a real estate agent of some sort, but it's way too much work.
Well, you're not afraid of work if you're a project manager and engineer for DoD, man. It's you definitely got the tolerance for it, at least in the work ethic. So that's cool. So you've been doing it about 6 years, you said, in July. So that's awesome. Same position for more than the last couple of years, or have you changed positions?
So technically, I have been coded as electrical engineer that whole time, but my position and responsibility has, had really just a linear ramp up, during that time. So my current position title is CTIP Swarm Program Manager. Okay. So, in other words, my title has changed, but my technical coded position during that time has stayed the same.
That's awesome. And in terms of job stability, hours, has that all stayed pretty solid for you?
100% the same.
Awesome.
And actually the same with my wife. So
good.
She works for Agilent as a research assistant.
Nice.
And, they didn't cut any hours or anything like that. We're both teleworking most of the days.
Beautiful.
Going in routinely, but teleworking most.
Good. And then, so the big ratio that they try to figure out is debt to income. Have you tried to figure out your front back end debt to income ratios yet?
Yeah. So I have zero debt.
Awesome.
We have zero debt.
Nice.
And yeah, just like I said, about 60K in stocks / cash.
Right.
High yield
assets.
What's it called? And a high yield savings account. So about half of that's in a high yield savings account, half of it's in investments.
Beautiful. And income wise, without, and you don't have to get specific into the exact number. Can you give ballpark range of where you've been at least for the last 2 years?
Yeah. So me personally, last year 106, this year 115.
Nice.
My wife makes 55.
Nice.
So combined 170-ish.
Awesome. No, that's very helpful, not only just in terms of as they try to figure out for the qualifying, and that's where I'll talk to you about some of the first steps with that. Have you spoken to any loan officers yet on the financing side?
Well, so I went to a Bank of America, workshop and I met both the real estate agent there and the loan officer. I just met them. I didn't engage any further because that was back in February.
Okay.
And then, just a few weeks later, COVID hit, right?
Right.
But I haven't kind of made any further step other than just attending the workshops for now.
Right. Okay, that's good. And it's and that's helpful also hearing that you checked with B of A, because see what we like, and I've worked with B of A, I've worked with all the big banks. You got to be a little careful with it, and that's just the heads up. And I don't know if we even touched on it as we did through the home buyer workshop. They have a lot of different ways of not just qualifying, but we want a really in-depth analysis up front. If it gets to where it's like, okay, I want to see where I'm at today, right? Not saying that you need to do something today, but just truly having a financial snapshot. Because what a lot of buyers tend to do is they try to do as much online as they can, try to get an idea of, okay, this is the payment I feel comfortable with. What is that going to yield me in terms of how high can I go qualifying wise? And what is left out of the equation, for example, we got a spot called River Park out here. Prices look great. Beautiful homes.
Yeah.
Look awesome. Have you seen them?
With the area.
Okay.
I really wanted to get a house there.
Uh-huh.
The more I dug into it, I had some friends that actually owned a house there.
Yep.
I dug into the property taxes, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're paying $400 something a month in property taxes, like alone.
Yep.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
Love the homes out there.
Right.
That it could work.
Yeah, as well as over by the water, there's off Victoria, there's some newer construction out there. I'm actually supposed to have one coming up. It's around $600K, but when you start adding Melrose, HOA, you're adding almost an additional $900 a month onto that payment. It just gets crazy, like it's truly high-end luxury. And River Park's got a lot of draw to it, more so now than it's ever had. But still, the price is a little deceptive because you don't realize what all is included. So the whole point of that is when I have anybody getting started, I do a lot on my end on the real estate side up front, right? Which gives my clients a huge head start. I mean, you can see some of it just from our virtual workshop, but we get really in depth and educate and empower our clients so that they're ready to rock and roll and as educated as you can be starting out in the process. So that's one piece. The second piece is on the financing side. I bring my guy, and Jason actually spoke for a little bit in there, Jason Haraldson.
Yeah, I recall that a little bit.
Yeah, and I've been doing this since 2004. Him and I have done a lot of business together, and Mark is phenomenal. There's other good ones out there, but Jason is just this guy that's highly analytical, extremely smart. Started off on the processing side. And he just knows the numbers. He knows just people, and he's always looking out for their best interests. And those are the biggest reasons why I'm just like, why no matter what, him and I are going to be business partners. No matter who I work with in the future, he's the guy who when I refied, when I purchased, he's the guy I'm using. Just because we have that level of trust and understanding.
And I'm definitely flexible when it comes to, I like what you guys did. I feel like, Mike's recommendation was very good. I mean, if we are buying a home in Ventura, you guys would be the first resource I'd reach out to,
Thank you.
After that call. So I just want you guys to know that. It's one of those things I am trying to figure out, does it make sense for me to buy in my particular situation? So, in other words, in about a month, I'll know if I'm staying.
Right.
Right. And then if I'm staying, that's one of those things that that could make buying in the relatively near future more probable.
Right.
Right. Because then it's more ambiguous how long we're going to be here for.
And I see your numbers still in Nevada. Are you saying staying here locally, or are you in Nevada right now?
So my number is Nevada, but it's just my phone forever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm California.
Oh, cool. Well, I didn't. This whole time I'm expecting that when you're referring to staying, that you're talking about staying in Nevada. So, well, that's why River Park. Yeah. Now you do. Now it makes sense. Okay. No, that's cool. So, well, that's awesome. At least in terms of when we're speaking about what's going on today. And here in this local market, I mean, exactly what we're speaking to. So that's awesome. Yeah, that makes more sense. I should have asked you that question right out the gate when you first mentioned staying here. So yeah, and again, like a lot of times also with Jason is he'll basically share with people, now's not a good time for you. or because you have these unknowns, I wouldn't do it, you know, and that's what I appreciate about him. So it's not something that I don't want you to feel I'm going to ask you to sign anything. He's going to ask you to sign anything, that there's any type of commitment, or it's even that you're, you know, you don't, most people that I end up working with are the types of people that don't want to waste somebody's time, you know, and they just appreciate and respect time just because we're professionals in what we do in our field, you know, and I sense that with you as well. So I don't want you to feel that, okay, well, if I go another direction, I don't want to feel any love loss or anything of that. Again, this is about empowering you and helping you. So any way we can, we're here for you. But if you're good with it, let's start next Monday. Do you say?
Yeah, that works for me. Let me. What time?
Do you want to go 5 o'clock or a little bit later than that?
5 o'clock works for me. Let me go ahead and just put that down.
Yeah, Monday at 5. And yeah, other than that, if there's something else that comes to me that would be helpful, I think because we're still in the planning stages of things right now, the phone call will be enough. And then we'll go from there and just kind of see where we're at in terms of what, I mean, I know you still have a big thing that's going to happen in about a month. So obviously you're not going to know whether you're staying here or going potentially out to Virginia. But even so, all the information that I equip you with, and then if you do reach out to Jason and he helps equip you, it's going to help you no matter where you're at. And it's going to.
And the good news is too, you know, if we meet next week on the 18th, it's really just 2 weeks before I'll know if I'm going to Virginia.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, at that point. So
right.
In other words, you know, if I'm staying, you know, and, you know, what we find out in the call is that, oh, it actually could make sense in these certain conditions
right.
for you to buy a home here. You know, in other words, there could be the stars kind of aligning for it too. You know, it really just depends.
Yeah, no, that's I like the timing of that as well. And are there any other, I guess, questions that you have just off of what we've talked about today, what you know learned as we went through the virtual workshop? Anything offhand that would be helpful in case, you know, it just helpful information before our meeting on Monday?
Yeah, so I guess just do you recommend to most people to try to get the 20% down?
No. So that's a great question. I don't recommend it. It's based on what your situation is. But I know a lot of people hold off until they can get to that because they're trying to avoid that PMI. So there are other ways around it, and including if we find the right opportunity soon enough before everybody else jumps on it again, because it's going to happen. Once people start feeling comfortable again, you're going to see a lot more competition. You're going to see more buyers out there with the rates as low as it is, as well as you're going to see more properties pop up, but they're going to move. The good ones are going to move quick. So what we need to do is we got to have all our ducks in a row. We got to know, you know, so what if you were to say, hey, you know what, I want to see where I'm at today. I want to know exactly where I'm at. I know my debt's out. I know my job stability is good. Income solid. You've already checked off the boxes in terms of being ready to go today if you needed to do something today. Now, what I would need is for you to speak to somebody like Jason that I trust, not somebody that says, oh, yeah, they're pre-approved, just trust me. That's not good enough for me. I need somebody that's like Jason, who I have a track record with, and when he tells me, no, he's good to go, I don't have to question it. But I have many buyers who work with, oh, no, I'm working with so-and-so because they're just a friend of the family, and that's who I'm going to work with. 9 times out of 10, I try to trust it. At some point in time, they usually want to try to work with who my person is because they see that we got this dialed in, especially for Ventura County. You know what I mean? In this area, we know what we need to do, who we need to speak to, you know.
And I think that was another just plus of the workshop. I just, you know, I really got the fact that you guys know this market better than I ever will. You know what I mean? I'm one of those that will, you know, occasionally browse Zillow and, you know, kind of understand the basics of the different neighborhoods here and things like that. I've been doing it for the past 2 years or so.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to get familiar with the different areas. You guys will always be ahead of me. You know what I mean?
Well, but it's good. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to help get your learning curve to that point where you and I both know, and just you sharing just a little bit of your background and what it is that you do. Once we get you to that point where you know, okay, I know kind of how the game's played, right? I know how it works here. I know what's happening in this market. Now I know, does it make sense? Does it fit my budget? Do I have a big enough game plan that I can feel comfortable pulling the trigger now, even if for whatever reason I had to move 2, 3, 4 years from now, which normally we wouldn't recommend doing that, right? Not in part of the market in the cycle, but it's all case by case. And it depends what opportunity comes up. It also depends on what's happening over the next 6 months or so in terms of the market. I got a gut feeling that tells me things are going to take off, and that you're still going to see a lot of competition and the good properties are going to go. Well, that opportunity may be here in the next 30 days. It may be 6 months, out. It could be here sooner than that. And so all I recommend is, hey, get everything ready to go. You got nothing to lose by being ready. Watch what's happening. And then, we try to get you to that spot where, it's like, okay, now I know what I can do. I know how I'm protected in the contract. Once I know how I'm protected in the contract, if for whatever reason we discover at some point this doesn't fit for us, we get out, we protect that earnest money deposit, which I can tell you and always make this promise. I've never lost a dime on that earnest money deposit for any client since I've started in this business, ever once, because I know that contract inside and out. And that's my focus. And that's actually, I went to law school. I'm not an attorney, but I graduated from Gonzaga. That's the route that I ended up going, which I don't practice that. So start engineer, go business, then end up going out to law school. And I love it. I love the information that I gained from it, because it put me in a whole nother, I don't want to say a power position, but a position of understanding and knowledge. When I have an agent or even another attorney broker who starts to try to start swinging their weight, I can stand toe to toe with them and knowing the process, right? I've done a lot in the mediation and arbitration. So it's huge, man. It's on every aspect. It's not just about the selling aspect of it. That's a piece of it. You got to be good with people. You got to understand them, know what their needs and wants are, and be able to meet that. That's important. But more than anything, I believe in teaching the way I learned in law school about informed consent and making informed decisions by knowing the liabilities and knowing the gains, which I know with your investing background that you're always constantly looking at that. Okay, what's the risk? What's the reward, right? Does this make sense? Does this fit what I want to do with my family? And that's only one piece of it. It's the utilization of the property, making sure it fits what it is that you're looking for. But at the end of the day, this is about a long-term investment in creating wealth and appreciation, so those things all have to mesh. But now I'm excited, man, for our call on Monday. I'm glad I reached out, because I was kind of like, you know what, I didn't want you to feel it was a solicitation. I truly do want some feedback. But to hear that you're even, considering buying out here, I'm glad I made the call, because I think we're going to have a lot of good things we're going to talk about on Monday, and then just see where we're at and go from there.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Thanks again for reaching out.
Yeah.
I should. I just took my lunch break, so
I no problem.
Thank you so much.
all good, Tyler. Hey, you have a blessed day, and I'll send that invite out to you. I believe I still have your email. Can I write your email really quick?
Yeah, sure. teachan7@hawaii.edu. So that's TCHAN7
okay.
at hawaii.edu.
At hawaii.edu. Awesome. All right, Tyler, have a great day, and look forward to connecting with you on Monday at 5 o'clock.
Sounds good. Talk to you then.
All right, take care. Bye.
Sorry. Hey, Brendan. Can you hear me? No. Nope, you can't hear me. Okay. Hold on one second.
No, I can hear you. You're good. I muted myself afterwards.
Oh, got it. Okay. Sorry, I was also doing my own thing on the computer, answering emails, but I really liked that conversation.
Cool.
I think you provided all the value that you needed.
Awesome.
So, and I was taking a couple notes on how to present Jason. I know we've always talked about that, but there's an art to it that just, I love it,
No, I'm glad you stayed on. Good job on listening to it. That was obviously the highlight of my morning so far for me.
Yeah.
You rocked yours. I'm just glad I made my follow-up, and that motivates me to really continue to connect with these people that have tried to engage, because they don't give you a whole lot on these questions and these engagement because they don't want to feel committed. But now I find out this guy's, he's solid. He's ready to go, and he could probably be ready next week if we want him to be. But he needs to make sure he's got two main things in his head. Two things: 20% down, no mortgage insurance, and 5 to 7 years. Those are the two things stuck in his head. So he doesn't want to do it until he knows he can be there for 5 to 7 years. Well, most people don't know if they're going to be in an area for 5 to 7 years or not. You know, I want to
Right.
think that I'm going to be here 5 to 7 years. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what opportunity. When I was with
Right.
C21, they talked about expanding out to Arizona and other areas. There was a chance I could have been relocating just through the company, and I was doing all the right things, I felt, within the company to continue to grow, stay committed, do the things, but be flexible. So as much as we want to know 100% I'm going to be here 5, 7 years, we don't know. So that's where we have to try to understand that's the question, that's the issue, that's the objection. But how can I paint the picture as much as I can so he makes a fully informed decision and we go from there. But no, it's you know, again, scale 1 to 10, at least for what I would want, it was about a 9 in terms of connection, given value, listening, being able to hit things out, speak confidently and brag a little bit, but not sound egotistical. You know what I mean? There's a very fine line there, but you got to know you're good at what you do, right?
Right. Right. And I know when you mentioned, when he asked that question, right, that he's worried about the 20%, it's good that you left it open, because I'm sure on Monday you're going to discuss that a little bit further, right? And ultimately probably the 20% is probably the best choice if you want to be saving that money every month. But
well, you could actually, there's a few different options, and I didn't give him the answer to it. But what I did tell him is I said, actually, that question comes up, and in a lot of situations, the answer is no, don't wait till you get 20%, right? It's more about controlling what you can control now. The reasons why I would say not wait for these various reasons. One, interest rates are at all-time lows now. While you try to save and try to get that extra $60,000 that it's going to take a long time to save, he could have bought an opportunity today. He could have, and he already also shared in that call. He was sharing a lot. Do you notice as soon as I wanted to talk, I stopped myself? How many times I did that? If you watch the video, I did it at least 5 times in that conversation. And I'm like, but he's talking. So I got to let him hear it. I can't overpower him. This is all part of the connecting process of listening, right? He's given me his time. He was on his lunch break, and look at how much time. I don't even know. I mean, it was about probably a 30-minute conversation, right? 20, 30 minutes. I don't know, what time are we at? 11:50. So 20 minutes. But I got 20 minutes almost on a prequal that is gold. Like if I set the appointment and we set it for that Monday, but I didn't ask him all those questions, he really doesn't know me from anybody else. He may flake, he may do all that. But after I ask all those questions and I take all those notes and get all that info, you think he's going to miss that call on Monday at 5 o'clock?
No.
He's going to, and if he does reschedule, he's truly rescheduling it.
Right.
So there's 2 parts. I mean, there's actually a lot of parts, but 2 main things I stay focused on. One, setting the appointment. And I kept that throughout the conversation without being like, oh, when do you want to get together? When do you want to get together? When do you want to, it wasn't about that. It was, tell me more. Oh, okay. So what was feedback? I didn't even ask what your situation was. He starts sharing that. I'm calling saying, hey, I want to get better at our home buyer workshop. Just curious what your thoughts are, right? That's how we open it. And then once he starts sharing, he's like, well, let me tell you about my situation. This is what I'm doing. Da, 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 da. I didn't ever ask, hey, so what are you doing? Do you want to buy a house? Or you think? There was never any pressure coming from me. It all came from him, and the floodgate just opened up. And now it's like, all right, get more. Keep telling, keep sharing, keep sharing. All right, what about this? Tell me a little bit about this. What's your job? What type of work are you in? You know, how long you been doing it? Boom, 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 boom. So just in that call right there, you got so many different angles of the relevant information that you want to know. And when they answer 1 or 2 questions, they'll keep answering. And just remember that. Now you can dig deeper and deeper. And we could do it now. When we talk on Monday, he may forget a lot of things. He may remember some, and I'll try to bring some up so it helps. Oh, yeah, feel good. Lower the guard, lower the guard, lower the guard, lower the guard. Now we can talk. Now I can find out truly what the situation is and how I can lead somebody to success, right? But I keep taking all the pressure off. I keep doing. That's the skill, is taking the pressure off. Listening, take the pressure off. Take it, make it easy. Be easy to talk to. This is just a great conversation. This is something that he's going to be like, man, that was cool. That was fun. I got a lot of info. I think they're good at what they do. I got a recommendation from Mike. Now it's even further confirmed. He'll probably call Mike and say, hey, I talked to Brandon, had a good talk with him. I'm excited. We got another call on Monday. And Mike's going to be like, awesome. That's who you need to talk to. That's what I've been saying. They're the guys you need to talk to. So now I got Mike working for me. I did my part. I did my follow-up. Now it's up to me to knock it out of the park when I talk to him on Monday. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. No, and I see how you even took the pressure off too. It's like, it was like when he brought up, I was talking to, Bank of America, and you're like, oh no, and I've worked with them in the past, and and you're just cautioning him on that, and it didn't even take that many details to kind of get him to be like, oh, okay, no, I get it. Maybe I should talk to a broker.
All I'm doing is planting seeds, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just planting seeds. I didn't convince him, because if I had focused too much on trying to get him financed and qualified, I could have lost him altogether. It's not about him. It's not even about Jason. Jason's just, I'm planting that seed. When I get there on Monday and we start digging deeper, and I want to see if this guy's truly ready to start kind of committing and showing me he's business, and hey, he wants more of my time, then he's got to show me something, right? And that's where I'm already starting to lay the groundwork for that type of expectations. Once I start setting all that up, then he's like, all right, well, what do I need to do now? When he says that, you need to call Jason. Boom, that call takes place now. But do you see how much value I have to create before I try to go with that? And the mistake that most agents make is they try to go to that right out the gate because they don't want to work. And so we're not creating any value because we haven't shown them anything. And I don't want nothing against Jason or any loan officer. I want them to think of me as their go-to, not the loan officer. Then when they meet the loaner, they're like, damn, he's good. That other guy's great. Like, everybody he works with is awesome. That's who I want to work with. Then they see you truly surround yourself with the best escrow officers, best loan officers, best, everybody you work with in the business is the highest level. The best, brokers or managers or whatever you want to call our relationship, right? Those are the things that they want to see. No matter who they talk to across the process, it's refreshing, it's educated, it's knowledgeable, it's, it's those things. And that's where it wasn't to brag about the law score to do it. I had to create the value. You heard his reaction the second I brought it up. It's like, it's game changer. Like, bring it. You know what I mean? You guys want to come at us? Come at us. Let's see what's up. So who do you want in your corner? Do you want somebody who's got that kind of confidence, who knows they'll go toe to toe with any type of legal situation? Or do you want somebody who's like, well, there's liability and we really shouldn't do that? That's the two different approaches. I want the aggressive person who knows, not that they want to try to start a fight, but if it comes to it, we're going to fight, you know what I mean? And we're going to do what we need to do. And we're going to fight on your behalf, and you're going to have us in your corner. So it's pretty awesome. It's cool to see what happened in that phone call. And I had no idea, I didn't know if it was just gonna be like, hey, just calling you back. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, thanks. See you in the future. I didn't know if that's what the phone call is going to be. And I'm glad it got recorded. I'm just still bumming that I didn't have yours because I wanted you to replay and see it. No, it was good.
I remember it, but it's true. It's like when you're in the moment, you're just going for it. But yeah, this recording, I would like to listen to it again if possible. And again,
I'm going to upload this one right now.
It's just for like practice purposes,
You're good. No, this is why you're a part of all this, Leslie. That's why I wanted to get you in. Okay. So
thank you, Brendan.
Of course, you've shown the commitment, joining us and coming and doing your thing. Already opened your first escrow. Now you're training. Now you're practicing. This is what we should have been doing all along. But again, in both of our lives, things come up and things have happened where, not to make excuses for it, but now we're doing it now. Right. And that's what's most important. So just keep your level of commitment, communication. It's been awesome. It's been very refreshing. And I'm just excited. I'm glad you are the first who's come over, and you're going to kick butt and take names. You know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, keep it going. And others are coming, and it, so I don't want it to just put any type of, just let's appreciate what we got going. You know what I mean? No matter what. and it's
I
always
get
going to
it.
be there, and we're going to make the most out of it. We just have to stay focused towards this, okay?
Right.
And just keep plugging in where you can plug in. But I want to start the good habits now where we can control our schedule. So let's try to make them when we can, and keep those commitments when we have appointments and things like that. Because it's when you're not on, or Silver's not on, or Anissa's not on, or Russ is, it's hard to get excited to keep doing this. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I'm already kind of hitting that point where it's like, all right, this stuff's getting old,
No,
but
it never gets old. You have to, it's funny that you're mentioning that, because I've done a role play for about 2 months now, and it's the same script, but I've come to realize that once that opportunity surfaces, then I'm ready, and where previously I wouldn't have been ready, I would have stumbled a little bit. So this is good. I'm committed to just Monday morning. This is what we do.